Hi, this is Doug Jessup. Welcome to this episode of Family Heritage Stories, where we get to preserve stories. And today, this guy has got one heck of a story, Randy Millican. Randy, thank you for coming on today. Now, Randy, let's get real. You got the vest, you got the hat. There's obviously some kind of story behind this. And what's really cool is that people may not realize is that there's a group of you that came here today to be interviewed, and I gotta ask the first question is, what in the world's the 159th Dustoff?
The 159th Dustoff was a unit of the U.S. Army that served in Vietnam, and our primary mission was to rescue the wounded, most often under fire, and we were unarmed, had no weapons at all, and we rescued American, Vietnamese civilians, enemy forces, Philippines, whoever called, we went to their aid.
Now, wait a second. You just said something that I was not aware of. Okay, you're saying you went into a territory, okay, where there were wounded people, and
freshly wounded
people, and you were not armed?
We were not. We had personal sidearms, but we didn't have. There, if I may, there was a similar unit, and it's called Medevac. And that was a unit that was organic to an infantry division, for example, the 101st Airborne, 1st Cavalry Division. They only picked up their own people from their battles that they were involved in, but they each had 2 M60 machine guns. And we picked up, as I said earlier, not exclusively, we picked up anyone that needed to be rescued. And we figured we could get a couple, 3 more patients without having the machine guns if we had the room to put the patients. Yeah. So that was the way we approached all our missions.
Were your helicopters marked differently than any of the other helicopters that might be used in battle?
Absolutely. They were the Green Army Huey helicopters, the hot rod of our generation. But they were very cleverly marked with a white background and a red cross, which made it easy for the enemy to identify us and direct their fire toward that red cross.
How did you end up getting into this unit and into the war itself?
Well, I wish I could show you. There's a famous Life magazine photograph that made the cover, and it's a bunch of I believe it's Marines being evacuated at the top of an armored personnel carrier, and they're all wounded, and there's one guy there holding this bottle of IV fluid for a guy that's covered in bandages. And I'm just out of high school, and for some reason that photograph really spoke to me down deep. So I joined the Army and told them the only way I would want to be in the Army is if I could be a medic, if I could be that guy. And luckily I had the aptitude for it and took the training, became a medic. There were guys on helicopters with the red crosses on the side, and they were bringing these guys, these severely wounded men, into the hospitals, and they were getting them there alive for the surgeons to work on. And I decided that's what I wanted to do. So once my 1-year tour of obligation in Vietnam was over, I signed up for a second one if they would promise me I could do that. And couple of snafus and a little red tape, but I finally got there. And I'm so proud today that I did that because of my friends and brothers you're going to meet and talk to, I know. And you'll understand why I say we're all the same guy. We're all made of the same thing, and we all have the same goal, and that's to help people in need.